Hello aspirants, welcome to MVP Vishwakosha. In today's video, we will cover most important current affairs for UPSC, KPSC and all competitive exams of 16 and 17 November 2025 current affairs. In that first point, that is about exercise Garuda. So it is an exercise between India and France. So exercise Garuda 2025 is the 8th edition of bilateral air exercise between the Indian Air Force and the French Air and Space Force. Okay, and held at actually in France. Okay, Monte de Marsan Air Base, and also the Indian Air Force aircraft, that is Sukhoi 30, Mk1 IL-78 tanker and C-17 Globemasters. Okay, they participated in that. That main focus areas in that exercise is beyond visual range combat behavior, and also air refueling, and also combined air operations and electronic warfare, and also main that will strengthen Indo-Pacific strategic cooperation and operational interoperability. In that perspective, exercises and all very important. So that is about exercise Garuda, that between India and France. In that prelims MCQ question, exercise Garuda is a bilateral exercise between India and Japan, India and UK, India and France, India and USA. So answer is that is India and France. Okay. So Garuda is a long-running India-France air combat exercise. In that mains practice question, exercise Garuda reflects the maturing strategic partnership between India and France in the Indo-Pacific analysis, with the reference to India's defense preparedness and joint air power capabilities. In that you have to explain. Okay, so that's about exercise Garuda. Okay, in between that is India and France. Next news, that is about Greenland foreign property ban. Okay, recently that Greenland Parliament that passed a law limiting foreign ownership of land and houses, that is only citizens of Greenland or Denmark, Faroe Islands may freely buy property. Okay, and also foreigners must have 2 years residency plus tax compliance, and also main aim to that is safeguard the strategic sovereignty and arctic resource, and also Inuit land rights, and also concern over foreign, especially US and China strategic investment for that also, and also Greenland has a large reserve of rare earth element and strategic shipping route. So for that it is very important. Okay, so that is about the Greenland foreign property ban. That practice MCQ question, that recent that Greenland new land policy primarily aims to that for option boost foreign tourism, protect strategic sovereignty and arctic resources, and comply with the European Union regulations, increase mining license. So here the answer is that is protect strategic sovereignty and arctic resources. In that explanation, that Greenland is protecting land from strategic external influence. So in that mains practice question, discuss how Greenland's restriction on foreign land ownership reflect the changing geopolitics of Arctic and what lessons does it hold for resource sovereignty. Okay, in that you have to discuss. Okay, so that's about the Greenland foreign property ban. Next news, that is recent that is Gen Z protest in Mexico. Okay, so triggered by assassination of Urban Mayor Carlos. Okay, Manzo. So mass youth-led protest in Mexico City and major state main demand to end political corruption and also curb marital violence and strengthen judicial accountability. So in that Gen Z uses social media, decentralized digital mobilization, protest slogan, no future without justice. Okay, that is the slogan of the protest, and also highlight weakened state capacity in Latin America. So in that perspective, recent Gen Z protest in several countries, right? So that is one protest that is in Mexico also. So in that Prince MCQ question, that the Gen Z protest in Mexico 2025 were triggered by for option national and internet shutdown, fuel price protest, assassination of a mayor, and anti-tax movement. So answer is that is assassination of a mayor. Okay, that mains question, youth-led movements are increasingly shaping political transition worldwide. So examine the socio-political roots of the Gen Z protest in Mexico. Okay, and their wider implication for democratic governance. You have to and examine that one. Okay, so very important. So that is about Gen Z protest in Mexico. Next news, that is about Birsa Munda's that is 150th birth anniversary. So 15 November 1875 that Jharkhand, okay, he born and led Ulgulan that great Tumlut 1899 1900 revolt, okay, that against British and moneylenders, and also demanded protection of Munda tribal land system, okay, and also important for his tribal self-rule and anti-missionary stance and cultural socio-cultural reform, and also government marks that Janjatiya Gaurav Diwas, okay, on November 15 every year. Okay, so the 150th anniversary is celebrated nationwide in 2025. That's why that Birsa Munda 150th birth anniversary is very important. So in that prelims question, that Ulgulan movement led by Birsa Munda was primarily concerned with four option: forest conservation, peasant taxation, tribal land alienation, and indigo cultivation. So answer is that is option C, that is tribal land alienation. Okay. In that mains question, evaluate the contemporary significance of Birsa Munda's Ulgulan movement for tribal governance, land rights, and India's inclusive development agenda. Okay. So in that perspective, you have to analyze. Okay. So that's about Birsa Munda's 150th birth anniversary. Okay. Next news, so that is Hemiphyllodactylus venkatadri. Okay, that's a recent discovery. New gecko species that discovered in Tirumala Hills, Andhra Pradesh, in Salam Biosphere Reserve, shows 9.7 to 12.9% genetic divergence from closest relatives, and also indicates under explored biodiversity of Eastern Ghats. And also habitat, the tropical dry deciduous forest found under tree bark. This is Andhra's second species of its genus. Very important species in news and all. In that perspective, it is very important. Okay, in that prelims MCQ question, that Hemiphyllodactylus venkatadri is a four option: a palm species, frog species, a gecko species, and butterfly species. It is a gecko species. In that mains question, explain the importance of species discovery for biodiversity conservation. Illustrate with the reference to the discovery of Hemiphyllodactylus venkatadri in the Eastern Ghats. Okay, in that you have to explain the importance. Okay. So that's about recent discovery of Hemiphyllodactylus venkatadri. Okay, that is gecko species. Next news, that is about GCC. Okay, that's the Gulf Cooperation Council, that one stop travel system. Okay, so here that Gulf Cooperation Council approved a single travel checkpoint for immigration, customs, security purpose in that main UAE and Bahrain, and that also in that implement that in December 2025. That will support upcoming that Gulf Cooperation Council unified tourist visa. Okay, and also it will uses integrated digital platforms for data sharing, and also expected benefits: faster mobility, boost tourism, economic diversification, and regional connectivity. And also some challenges: privacy, harmonization of immigration laws. That perspective, it is some few challenges will be there. So that's about Gulf Cooperation Council one stop travel system. That prelims question, that the Gulf Cooperation Council one-stop travel system will four option: replace passport within GCC, allow single checkpoint for travel formalities, and implementation common GCC currency, and grant visa-free entry for all Asians. So here the answer is that is B, allow single checkpoint for travel formalities. In that means practice question, it says the benefits and challenges of Gulf Cooperation Council's one-stop travel system. How does it impact India's diaspora and the broader India-Gulf relationship? Okay, in that perspective, you have to assess the benefits and challenges. Okay, that is about Gulf Cooperation Council one-stop travel system. Next news, that is about India's wholesale price index in that October 2025. Main wholesale price index inflation, that is actually inflation deflation, because minus 1.21%. Okay, food inflation also minus 5.04%, and vegetable minus 34.97%. Fuel and power minus 2.55%, and manufactured goods plus 1.54%. Main drivers that excess of vegetable supply, decline in crude oil price, and weak industrial demand. Okay, and also main implication for RBI that consumer price index is likely to soften further. Okay, so that's why it is very important that India's wholesale price index of October 2025. Okay, in that prelims MCQ practice question that wholesale price index deflation in October 2025 was primarily due to rise in industrial goods, sharp fall in food and vegetable price, increase in global oil price, reduction in tax rates. So answer is that is the option B, that is sharp fall in food and vegetable prices. Okay. So mains question that what does the wholesale price index deflation indicates about India's economic fundamentals and examine its implications for farmers, manufacturing and monetary policy. In that perspective, it is very important. Okay. So that's about India's wholesale price index October 2025. Next news that is about Belém, that is Health Action Plan COP30. So launched on Health Day at COP30, Belém, Brazil. First global plan integrating climate adaptation plus health system. Main three pillars. One is that is disease surveillance and early warning, policy training, capacity building, climate resilient hospitals and supply chains, and also main priority climate justice and vulnerable communities. Supported by WHO and plus Brazil. So very important that Belém Health Action COP30. For exam perspective, it is important. In that practice MCQ question, that is the Belém Health Action Plan focuses on for option carbon market framework, climate resilient healthcare systems, forest only adaptation, renewable energy targets. So that answer is that is climate resilient healthcare system. So means question that climate resilience is incomplete without health system resilience. Discuss India's preparedness in the context of the Belém Health Action Plan. Okay, so that is important. So that's about Belém Health Action Plan in the COP30. So next news that is about Jammu and Kashmir Nogam blast, right? Recently explosion at Nogam police station, Srinagar, right? So here accidental detonation of seized explosive during Forsonic examination. 9 dead and police Forsonic staff, 1 civilian. That reveals that SOP lapse in explosive handling. Okay, then standard operating procedure. And also government announced a compensation of 10 lakh deceased and 1 lakh injured. So calls for secure storage zones for explosives. Very important that issue in that standard operating procedure labs and all. So that's about Jammu Kashmir Nahagam blast. In that practice question, that Nahagam blast was caused by for option militant, a drone attack, accidental explosion of seized explosive, cross-border shelling. So answer is that is accidental explosion of seized explosive. Mains question that highlight the procedural and institutional gaps exposed by the Nahagam blast and also that suggest reform to strengthen India's forsonic and explosive handling protocols. Okay, that to highlight. That is about Jammu and Kashmir Nahagam blast. Next, that is about last news. That is about Russia and Azerbaijan's embassy incident. Recently, Russian missile hit Azerbaijan's embassy compound in Kyiv, right? And also damaged wall, vehicles, but no casualties. So Azerbaijan protested, citing Vienna Convention, and also adds strain to Russia-Azerbaijan ties after fast incident, and also shows a spillover Russia-Ukraine conflict. So in that recent issue between Russia and Azerbaijan, international issue, it is important. So in that practice MCQ question, that Azerbaijan protested to Russia in November recent 2025 because its naval ship was attacked, its embassy compound in Kyiv was damaged, its aircraft was shot down and its territory was invaded. So answer is that is its embassy compound in Kyiv was damaged. So in that mains question, that analyze how diplomatic missions become vulnerable during armed conflict and discuss with reference to the Russia Azerbaijan embassy incident. Okay. So and the Vienna Convention, in that you have to analyze. So that's about Russia Azerbaijan embassy recent incident. Okay. That's all for today's current affairs update from MVP Vishwakosha. Revise these topics well. Okay. Consistency builds confidence. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for daily updates on UPSC, KPSC, and all competitive exams. Thank you.